Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Cindy. And yes, I will continue to vlog. You ladies have convinced me that I have something worthwhile to offer, whether I compete or not. So I appreciate that so much. If you are new here, I did my second ever bikini competition last weekend. Today is Friday, June 6th. So not even a full week has passed since the competition, although it feels a lot longer, even though my tan is still kind of holding on in a lot of places. But we just got back from a 2-day orientation for my daughter's college, which was very strange because I almost felt like I was enrolling in college. Like, I don't know, things were not like that back in the day, right? We just went to college. But anyway, my husband and I did the 2-day orientation. And learned maybe more than we'll ever need to know about her college experience, what to expect, registration, everything else. So she is the last of my 3 children leaving the nest this summer. So exciting, strange, new chapter, I guess, in a lot of ways for me and my husband. If you don't know our backstory, we were both married before. I was actually married twice before. My second husband passed away. My current husband's wife passed away. So we met after that, and we've been together. It'll be 12 years this month in a couple of weeks. So we are a blended family. So our 3 children, came from different places, and we blended them the best we could, but 2 have been out of the house for a few years, and my littlest, our youngest, will be leaving this summer. So that's our family backstory. In terms of how I'm feeling about everything, I, have been training. Obviously with this trip, things were a little different. I did 1 session in the hotel gym. Today I did not train, but for the most part, I've been training normally. Not using the logbook, just but training, with intensity and what I felt like doing. Basically doing an upper-lower split is what I've been doing. I've been enjoying that and kind of mixing and matching exercises rather than doing body part specific work. So that's been nice. And I probably will keep going like that without a logbook, without a specific protocol for the next couple of weeks until, I kind of settle into how I'd like to train in this next season, I guess you could call it. I do like doing the upper-lower split because the only day it's difficult, I think, is lower sometimes to decide like where to focus my energy, because it can be a lot to try to do quads, hamstrings, and glutes. And I really haven't trained quads in the last 2 years very much. I mean, a few leg extensions here and there, but mostly it's been glutes on lower day and hamstrings. So kind of have to think through how I want to do my exercise split. In terms of food, I've been eating very intuitively. I haven't been tracking. A lot of my meals look similar to how I was eating before, just because they're the meals I enjoy and I'm used to eating. And sometimes there's just decision fatigue, deciding what to eat. I've created some new little recipes that I'm enjoying that I saw other people eating during my prep that I wasn't going to start making changes and trying to fit things into my macros. But now that I have more flexibility, I'm doing like the Wheatabix protein cheesecake, which I will probably show you guys. Now, I could not find Wheatabix in the supermarkets near me, so I just use shredded wheat, but I'll show you how I make that. I so love that for breakfast now. It has replaced my protein pancake bowl. And I make a little, this is a Nicole Burgess inspired little like egg white wrap s'mores kind of thing at night with sliced strawberries and whipped cream, which is delicious. I will show you that too. So I've made little recipes, but like the last couple of days that we were traveling, I just went with the flow and ate what appealed to me. Often disappointed with the food when I eat out. That's generally how it is. Although last night we went to a lovely little restaurant where we just had the most amazing food. Like, I love when there's a lot of acid in the food, probably because I'm Middle Eastern. So anything that has like lemon and vinegar, I adore. And it was a red fish entree that I got that was just in this beautiful lemony pesto. We shared a couple of appetizers. Everything was just very fresh and well thought out and delicious. The cafeteria food, on the other hand, left a lot to be desired. So kind of a mixed bag. But now that I'm back home, back in routine, probably not traveling again until I have to travel for work a couple of times this summer. So I will have more time in my routine, which I do love. I think I want to do a little, maybe less standard weight training. Like maybe I won't do that 5 days a week. Maybe one of those days will be more like functional, a little more explosive movement, plyometric, that kind of thing. I miss that type of training. So it's on my mind as something I might mix into my training a little bit. But yeah, I'm not making any real decisions yet about how I want to move forward with my training, just doing what feels right now. Went back and forth with my coach. I am going to stop working with her or with anybody right now, and just, like I said, do my own thing. Not feeling called to do Fit Model. Several people commented, you should do Fit Model. Not feeling called to do that or to do any type of competition. And certainly I can change my mind at any time and do that. I don't intend to put on a lot of body fat. I'd like to stay at a good, comfortable weight, maybe not this lean, but yeah, I'd like to always be, one prep away from competing if I'd like to compete. But those are my thoughts today, less than a week out from show. Like I said, I'll probably show you a couple of the new meals that I've been creating. I've also been loving just a lot of fruit lately. I think just because it's gotten hotter, we bought cherries and melons and mangoes and all kinds of fruit. And I've just been eating that ad libitum since I'm not tracking, I'm not counting. I probably am eating a lot more carbs than I was before, just because that's what I enjoy. So that is what I have to say for today. I will probably pick you guys up this weekend and show you some of my food.
Hello, it is Sunday, June 8th, and yesterday was a really nice day. I enjoyed having a weekend after our trip for college orientation. So utilized the day to the max. I had body work done, which I really needed. It was actually all upper. A lot of times I tell her, you see how what you're feeling under your hands. And if I just need to do upper, I'll just do upper. And usually I have so much tension in my neck, shoulders, lats. She gets into the low back too, that pretty much we stop there because that's the full hour. So that was that. I had a good lower body training session focused on glutes, and we went to see Mission Impossible, which was almost 3 hours. I don't think I've sat through a movie that long in a movie theater in a very long time, but chairs are very comfortable, so there was a little nap in there. And then we went for Mexican food, which I really didn't enjoy. It was super oily and greasy. And I found I don't know, now that I'm kind of eating more intuitively, paying attention to what I'm enjoying, what I'm gravitating to, definitely not enjoying fatty food at all, even fatty meats. Although I had a skirt steak, and that was actually really good. But I'm finding I'm eating much more like just juicy fruit, vegetables, higher carb in general. My pre-workout meal has been a big bowl of fruit with honey, along with coffee with collagen. And I have been enjoying that so much. I'm putting a carb powder in my intra-workout as well. And that's definitely making a difference, allowing me to take my time in the gym. I don't feel rushed. I feel like I have the fuel to, keep going past an hour if I want to. And some of my workouts, because I'm doing like an upper lower split, they are taking longer than an hour. Definitely not pushing the weight right now. Listening more to my body, being, a little bit slower with movements since, I know that I'm lean and I'm post competition. But yeah, very different feeling than I had last year coming out of prep, where I felt like I desperately needed to put on weight, on my body. I just felt like I was way too lean and I was churning through food. I don't feel like that this time. I feel like I can just eat intuitively. And it has been a tremendous mental relief to not weigh myself. I haven't weighed myself at all. I haven't weighed my food. I needed that break for sure from all of it. And not weighing myself has been probably the biggest, shift for me. Just not knowing the number is really, really helpful. Have I put on weight? Have I not? I don't know. I mean, my clothes kind of fit the same, and I don't really care right now. Like, I just don't. I think it's going to be really important for me to give myself a break right now from all of the numbers and the tracking. I'm not tracking my steps either. Like, I don't have a step goal in mind. What I think I want to do with cardio is do cardio on the days I don't lift. And maybe, incorporate some higher intensity cardio, because I do enjoy that, like the spin bike, and, doing it fueled with, fruit in the morning. And I could probably, do some nice high intensity cardio, not feel like it's taking too much out of me or taking away from my lifting. So those are my thoughts this morning. I'll try to capture a couple clips in the gym. It looks pretty empty. It's Sunday morning, a little before 8, so that tends to be a good time to film. So maybe I'll get you a few clips, but I'm definitely going to show you some of my food today, some of the things I've been enjoying. I did not take a picture of my giant fruit bowl this morning with honey, but I'll show you some other things, and as promised, probably walk you through a few recipes of the fun foods I've been making lately. Okay, workout done. Was a good one. I did a full upper, and I did film. I think I got all the exercises I did. You'll notice there were a lot of exercises, but I mostly did 2 or 3 sets, so not a lot of sets per exercise, but I did try to cover pretty much full upper other than biceps, which I don't really train. I mean, occasionally I'll do a set of biceps for fun, but I don't need to grow my biceps. So, yeah, I was happy I was able to get it. The gym was just pretty empty, so it was easy to set up the camera. I'm going to head now to pick up a coffee, and then I will show you the post-workout meal, which is my new favorite meal, the cheesecake thing that I make, and I'll show you how I make it too. So yeah, I'll see you at home. Okay, I'm back from the gym going in with my post-workout meal. So this is the cheesecake I've been making. I call it the Wheatabix protein cheesecake, even though it's made with shredded wheat because I couldn't find Wheatabix. And on top, I just put some blueberries mixed with this cherry pomegranate smash, which is just smashed fruit with chia seed. And this is cold. I eat this cold. So this will be my post-workout meal. And by the magic of editing, I will show you next how I make this because I make it the night before. So I will put the exact quantities of the ingredients in the description, but I think you could be pretty fluid. I mean, I just weigh out the ingredients to make sure that they kind of have the same proportions for the recipe, but I used about 30 grams of the shredded wheat, 200 grams of the yogurt, 7 to 10 grams of the sugar-free jello cheesecake, and half a cup of almond milk, so 4 ounces. So those are basically the proportions. And as you saw in the completed video, you can spread it out, you know, in the morning once the bottom layer is sort of set, you can spread out the yogurt layer and then do like a fruit topping or whatever you like on top. I've seen people do like peanut butter and chocolate on top, do lemon drops, you know, to flavor it. You can kind of do whatever you like with it, but it's very versatile and it is totally delicious. I'm going in with lunch, which is another favorite lately. It's kind of messy, but delicious. Egg whites with 1 whole egg and spinach and arugula, and sourdough with a laughing cow. So that is the next meal of the day. Forgot to mention I put feta cheese in this egg white omelet as well. I wanted to show you some of the big salads I've been making. Just loving them. This one has beets and pickles and just about every vegetable I could think of to throw in there. And I mix this up with a homemade vinaigrette, and then I'll have this with roasted potatoes and chicken, which we cooked in batch, and I'll show you that that's in the oven. So we have a big batch of chicken breasts cooking up and reheating some red roasted potatoes in here. And I'll show you my favorite marinade for the chicken. So super simple. This is what I marinate my chicken in. It's one of the Flavor Gang sauces, Sweet Poppy. Basically like 4 hours, and it's so tangy and sweet and delicious and very simple. So Flavor Gang's not cheap, but if you buy the sauces in bulk,
You pay shipping one time. Usually my sauces last me 6 months between the pantry and the fridge. We kind of rotate them out. So yeah, well worth it. Next recipe I'm going to show you is how I make my Ninja Creami. Somebody called me out in the comments that I had promised to show like a step-by-step of how I make my creamy, and obviously there's a million recipes out there, but I love the tartness that this particular recipe has. So I will show you what I put in my creamy. That's it. It's a split of 4 ounces of the low-fat kefir, 4 ounces of almond milk. I use a little of the stevia drops, and then you can use any protein powder that does well in a creamy. They don't all, but I was using an animal chocolate brownie flavor here. So this gets frozen overnight. And then for mix-ins, my foolproof system is I do 1 spin on light ice cream. Then I add maybe like tablespoon of almond milk. I do a respin, and then I add my mix-ins. My mix-ins can be anything from like Brazil nuts to cereal. I like Cocoa Krispies in it. What else? And then I use PB Fit sometimes, the powder. I top it with fat-free whipped cream. So you can be creative on your mix-ins, but I do 1 spin on mix-in. So that's how I've had perfect Ninja Creamies for a really long time. They come out the right consistency, and there's no like frozen parts. So 1 spin on light ice cream, a little almond milk, respin, and then mix in with whatever you put in it. I've seen people like leave it on the counter for an hour and do all kinds of things. I never found any of that was necessary, or putting water on it to prevent like the icing around. I don't know, I haven't had that issue, and to me, that looks like it gets too soft when you do all those things. So I don't leave it out beforehand before I spin it or anything. It is the next day. It is Monday, and I just wanted to film one more recipe for you, and then I will close out the video. So this is my egg white s'mores wrap. So I'm going to show you first how I prepare the wraps, and then they go into the air fryer, and I'll show you the next steps. Okay, so these are the Egg Life egg white wraps. And I use 2 of them, and I take the jet puffed s'more marshmallows, so the really big ones. I cut them in half, put them on each of the wraps, and then I use Lily's sugar-free salted caramel flavored chips, which I think are amazing in this recipe, but you can use any chocolate chips. So that's how I prepare it, and then this will go into the air fryer on broil for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending like how toasty you want your marshmallows, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so now that the wraps have come out of the air fryer, you can see they're kind of ooey gooey. I'm gonna put them on my plate. And then basically you just fold them over, so you make these little kind of s'more sandwiches or tortillas. And then I like to put the sliced strawberries on top, and then a little bit of fat-free whip. And it is the bestest snack. The end. Okay, so that is everything for this week's video. I'm happy I continued to vlog. I am actually enjoying just showing you life after competing, at least what it looks like 1 week post-show. I'm sure it will continue to evolve and change, and my thoughts will continue to evolve. This morning I did a spin class just because I felt like it, and being fueled with the fruit in the morning and feeling really good is so different than when you have to do cardio for prep. It's just completely different experience. I had more energy to give to it. I enjoyed it more. So really enjoying this phase of kind of not tracking, not having clear defined, rules around steps and, number of cardio sessions and all of that stuff. So, and certainly not tracking macros or weighing my food. Super fun for me right now. I'm sure, again, I will go back to a more structured plan, but as of now, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm enjoying, so that's what I'm showing you. So if you're enjoying this, I hope you'll stick around for whatever life brings in this post-competition season I'm in, and I will see you in the next one.